We're going to set our intention. Exhale.
My story is in the fact that I recovered from an eating disorder. Okay, something has to change. I knew that I couldn't not share what I learned with other people. You can choose to be fearful, and you can choose to see this as the world ending. You know, the earth in itself has subtle electrical charge. I rotate between some colder temperatures and some hotter temperatures. Find healthy outlets of coping with negative emotions. I'm not an at-home workout person, or I'm not this. Well, yes, you are, if you choose to be. What's up, guys? I'm about to join the live call for the Fresh Inspiration virtual event where wellness experts are coming together and sharing our top tips for helping you ease stress and get through this hard time. So I'm going to be sharing my top 3 wellness tips for easing your stress, connecting to your body, and really feeling good physically and emotionally throughout this whole thing. And I thought that it would be great for YouTube to get a couple of insider points from it. So that's exactly what we're doing, joining into the Zoom right now. And then I'm also going live on Instagram. So I won't be looking at the camera, but there is going to be a couple of good nuggets that I think you all can take from this. So, all right, here we go.
Years to me, this is the meditation that works for attention. Bring that intention down, heal your body. Ourselves, we must be present in the moment. And one more time. I am great.
I'll go if everybody can hear me.
I can hear you, my friend. Please share.
Okay, well, my name is Eden Gold, and I'm 21 years old, and I'm a speaker in schools and also a coach as well. So my story is in the fact that I recovered from an eating disorder that I had for 6 years, and it, I want to say it took over so many parts of my life, and I went through phases where I didn't think it was anything serious, and other phases where I knew I wanted to heal myself. And so what that did for me, or to me rather, was it caused me to play the comparison game a lot. It caused me to become really insecure when I was in school, wishing that I could have been anybody else for no apparent reason other than things that were going on in my own head. And, there's a lot of reasons why I think that it happened now that I've grown to become so much more self-aware. But, after I made the decision that after I kind of hit like a low point, we sometimes have like that click and we're like, okay, something has to change. I decided I was going to go on this journey to heal myself, and that was my only goal, was to heal myself. And what that brought me into was the world of health and wellness, and it brought me to veganism and wanting to share my story, because the more self-aware that I became, the more that I learned about myself. And of course I'm still learning every day, but I knew that I couldn't not share what I learned with other people, because the thing that keeps me up at night is knowing that there are still people out there who are where I used to be, and that's not okay with me. So that's why I am speaking to students and people who are young, because I believe that I'm young enough to where they relate to me and I can connect with them, but I've also learned so much throughout my journey that I can teach them the things that I wish I had known growing up. And if we can reach them as young as possible, then we might be able to prevent some of the problems that we see later on in life, obesity epidemic, heart disease, drug abuse, alcoholism, violence, and all sorts of stuff. And so my goal is to just plant the seed and bring mental health in the forefront of students' minds, because it's not always commonly talked about. And so that's why I'm here as well.
Thank you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I love all that you shared. Eden, welcome in.
Thank you, Rhonda.
This is like you're sitting at my kitchen table.
Right.
You get opportunity to be able to share. So let's keep this conversation going.
Okay. I have stayed relatively calm this whole time, and it's not because I don't think that there's a lot of things to be worried about. There's always a lot of things to be worried about and be stressed out about, but you can only do what's in your control, and what's in your control is taking care of your health, your mind, your body, and your spirit, and staying out of harm's way as best as possible. Yes, comply by the rules of the government and keep yourself safe, But I believe that after that, it's all a perspective game. You can choose to be fearful and you can choose to see this as the world ending, or you can choose to see this as a beautiful thing, which is what I've done. I don't like to think of what a situation is taking from me. I like to think of what I can take from it or what I can learn from it. And what I'm getting from this is, you know, I'm sure we've all heard this, an opportunity to do the things that we wouldn't normally have time to do. And even if you do normally have time to do them, it's a mindset game. You may have convinced yourself that there's not enough time in the day because the world is continuing to move, right? So for me, that's learning how to do the splits. It's practicing my dance moves, and for no reason other than the fact that those are things that I'm interested in, and I can do it guilt-free, carefree, and not feel like there's other things that I should be investing my time in. So that's what it is for me. And the planet is getting greener, okay? The planet's getting greener. This is great. This is a good opportunity to be introspective and be self-aware, because I'm sure a lot of you know, but the world doesn't know that we're always go, 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 and we're being reactive towards our day. But this is a good time to take the control back and be proactive. Did I say that, or did I say reactive? We're being reactive towards our day, if that's what I said. We're being reactive towards our days, but this is an opportunity to take control back and be proactive. So I've been focusing on being proactive of my life and being the dictator of my life.
Well, I know. Okay, so I feel quite rebellious. So first off, I love that you brought up, Eden, that we're doing something beautiful for Mother Earth by not going out there and driving like we used to. The freeways are more open, and so I do feel the freedom of Mother Earth. And thanks for that slip, by the way. We really are at my kitchen table.
Oh yeah, this is my second coffee. I'm wired up. I'm ready to go.
But not, of course, honoring social distancing. My sister's cafe here.
Yeah, I'll add in a couple things as kind of a play off of what Katerina said about, just bringing community together and uplifting ourselves. I think that most of us, if I'm not mistaken, have done a lot of self-development work over the years. And this is all just such a helpful and refreshing reminder of the things that, we should do, because I get caught up in the loop of, I know, but when does the action happen? We have to actually make a conscious effort every single day to get to where we want to go and move the needle forward spiritually, mentally, emotionally. So what I wanted to bring as a good tip is some action steps that people can apply to feel better in their body every day, starting now. So that is to find ways to connect to life and connect to your roots. Obviously we are online a lot more now, but I'm hoping that this call will be the thing that sets off the trigger, like, oh, you're right, I have been doing XYZ too much, or I could do this more. And then after this call, go ahead and do that. So by connecting to life, here's what I mean. The simple answer would be to eat foods as close to their natural source as possible. Drink a lot of water. I like to say, when in doubt, eat real food. But I want to get even deeper than that and say, why don't we try something like grounding, or it's also called earthing, standing on the ground with bare feet. And why would we do something like that? Why is that a way to connect to the earth? Well, the earth in itself has a subtle electrical charge, and it's a really good way to charge our own bodies. The closer, the more grounded we get to the earth. So in whatever ways you can find to ease your stress and connect to the elements and connect to nature, I think and I believe that that's bringing you back to your roots. I mean, think about it. When is the last time that you have walked barefoot for an extended period of time, or even just a small amount of time? Since plastic soled shoes were invented in the 1960s, So just thinking of the simple ways to bring yourself to a more connected state, right? And then being naked, okay? I know it might sound a little weird and a little odd, but think about it. When is the last time that you were actually not fully clothed, Just take time to just be and be one with your body and appreciate what is you. These are things that are free that you can do to feel more connected to yourself, right?
Thank you, Eden. Oh my gosh, I love that.
We have food, We have food. Food is always a go-to. We have to take care of ourselves first. Getting connected to the elements. Okay, it's good to rotate between some colder temperatures and some hotter temperatures. Understanding yourself and your body, and coming from somebody who had a history of bad body image and not wanting to look at myself in the mirror, I can now appreciate my body for what it is doing for me. And my arms allow me to pick things up and my legs allow me to walk, right? So I've been walking a lot more. I have a step count. And then the last tip that I have is to find healthy outlets of coping with negative emotions, right? When I was in the midst of my eating disorder, I can say all day that, binging and purging was my way of release. But if I really sat and let myself feel the pain, I guarantee that the solution was not to hurt myself or others, and that there are healthier ways to deal with the pain that we feel inside in a way that's not going to allow it to manifest inside of us, right? So meditation.
I love that, Eden. What you're bringing up are some big things here. And the thing is that when we feel that pain, because we're very sensitive beings. And when we start feeling that pain, it can take us in another space. And I'm so appreciative that you brought that up. I love about the nakedness.
Can I leave with one thing that I thought about that I think could, just bring a little bit of value?
Eden, not a little bit. My friend, you're here as one of the experts. Please share.
I just want to leave everybody with knowing that you can change your story at any time you want. There doesn't have to be one event that defines you, and you can choose to define yourself differently. If there's an attribute or a personality trait or something that you think, I'm just like that, or I've always been this way, and it's not serving you, you have every right and the power to change it. So if you start to fall into a weird head trip with all of this and you're like, I'm not an at-home workout person, or I'm not this. Well, yes, you are, if you choose to be that. So step into the space of where you want to go, and your actions will follow if you think in the future and think optimistically and bright. So just know that you have every power to change your story anytime that you want and define yourself differently.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, that was it. Those are some of my tips. I didn't share all of them just because we were on a time crunch. If you couldn't tell, we kind of moved it along a little bit quicker, but I hope that you heard those tips and you really found them valuable and have some little nuggets that you can take with you and apply. But really, it's all about the simplicity of things. It's not about what more, but how to connect to your roots and bring things back down to a level of simplicity. What do we know works? What makes sense to us? And with that, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Check out my Instagram for more health, wellness, body positivity at EdenGold_. Subscribe to my channel, and please, if you like this, give me a like. It helps me in the YouTube algorithm, especially as a small channel. And I will see you guys later.